Hello everyone, on today's IRS tax refund update, we will take a look at the latest developments in regard to those ongoing tax refund delays, including the newest numbers released by the IRS on the current tax return backlog situation. We will also check in the latest for those of you still waiting on your amended returns to be processed. Meanwhile, the next batch of tax refunds is scheduled for the release this week, so we will recap that as well as take a look at those of you still waiting on your employer's tax returns to be processed in order to receive that tax refund. Now the latest numbers out of the IRS have the backlog of unprocessed tax return down to the below 4 million for the first time since earlier this year to now 3.7 million. Among that number includes 1.7 million e-file returns and those requesting special correction and handling, which was decrease of 200,000 returns from last week update. Meanwhile, 300,000 more paper returns were processed in the last week, dropping the total remaining down to 2 million. For comparison, just 1 month ago on October 21st, the amount of unprocessed tax returns stood at 5.1 million, which means we saw nearly 1.5 million returns processed and cleared in the last 30 days, which is a good pace but is still far behind processing time frame this late in the year. Based on current processing trends, this backlog will not be completed until the beginning of next tax season. Moving on, those of you waiting on amended tax returns, which saw another 100,000 returns processed and cleared in the last week, finally dropping the total number of unprocessed amended returns to now below 1 million to approximately 900,000 amended returns remaining. It should be noted, amended returns are continuing to be processed at a much slower rate than other returns and will be probably not be completed until mid-January. Meanwhile, the next batch of direct deposit tax refund is also scheduled to be released and transmitted by the IRS to banks nationwide on Wednesday, November 23rd, as confirmed by the refund status result tracker seen here. If you are part of this latest refund batch, do allow up until November 28th to receive the direct deposit in your bank account before initiating a payment trace. If you are expecting a paper check, the next batch is scheduled to be released on Friday, November 25th. Now do allow 7 to 10 business days to receive that by mail. However, if you are not received within that time frame, you will have to expect to wait up until 30 days before initiating a payment trace with the IRS. To our viewers who receive their specific 60-day notice from the IRS informing them they are still waiting on their tax account information to be available on their computer system, they are among impacted group of both e-filers and paper filers who are still waiting on the IRS to process their current or former employers' 2021 tax information, which is necessary to match against the information you entered on your tax returns. Now, as it stands now, there are still 3.2 million unprocessed employer tax returns remaining. These returns are being processed at a much slower rate, and it should be noted that back on September 9th, that number stood at 4.2 million. So not a great amount of positive net improvement over the last 2+ months. On top, there is still nearly 300,000 unprocessed amended employer returns out there, so those part of this impacted group may be the last to have their tax returns processed and refund issued. Again, why employer tax returns are important for those of you still waiting is because the IRS matches the wage information you entered on your 2021 1040 tax forms against what your employers or former employer has submitted to the IRS check for discrepancies. Also, another continuing issue is employees who enter the wrong social security number for an employee when submitting their taxes and on their payroll information. For those of you in this impacted group who have seen your co-workers have their returns processed and refund issued, it is important to check to see if your employers have the right social security number on file, as this has become a common problem in recent years of mismatched social security numbers, oftentimes requiring employers to file an amended return to address the issue. At this point, we are roughly 60 days away from the start of the next tax season, with still record high amounts of unprocessed taxpayer and employer tax return. Let us know if you are planning to do anything different next tax season. Whatever is changing from paper to e-file, delaying filing until mid-February. If you are claiming EITC or CTC are using a different tax preparing software, let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax refund issue, including the when and how you filled your tax return. So I will keep you updated and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.